due to unforeseen circumstances and unfavorable weather conditions.
We suffered $25,000 worth of damages on equipment.
Stay tuned to learn how we tackled this issue
and what to do to prevent this from happening to your business.
It's been one of those weeks, Eddie.
Oh, I know. I was there.
Yeah. But we want to go in and let you guys know that, like, we're okay. No one got hurt. But one thing that did get hurt is the ultimate checklist. It said that you guys ain't requesting no more of them. So reach out to the awesome checklist. Make sure you get it checked out and go through it. I think it's about close to like 70, 80 pages right now. So get it checked out and then send us requests. But so this weekend, like, let's recap the whole thing, because like it started off with me and you were going to do something. I forgot what we were going to do before we went out there.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm bad with memory. I don't even remember that. But
that's my name.
Yeah, right. But one thing for sure is that I was there for a lot of the parts, the pre-planning and stuff like that. So even talking within the, I don't even know. To be honest with you, there's so many different people saying that they're the man. I don't know who I was talking to, but a lot of planning went involved with one person, and I thought everything was good, but Mother Nature had other plans.
Yeah, everyone would say, "Oh, yeah, that's the boss person," and we go through that. But I think so. Let's go on the date. So Wednesday we went to go set up.
Yeah.
Right. And me, you, Tina came out too, and we had like 5 to 6 people. Kobe was there. The whole team was out there. Went to set up. Get everything set up. Everything looks pretty good. And then Friday, Eddie gets a text from, I think, the guy who signed the contract, but I don't think he's the guy that paid. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. He's the one that signed the contract, and he sends Eddie a text. It's a photo. We're gonna pop that photo right here. It's sent 3 photos, as you see. So I think me and him were going to do something fun at the time, because this is Friday. I think we're about to just go to the warehouse, chill a little bit. Then we got to go do something together. We're like, okay, it's a good time for us. We're gonna
success. We're patting each other back. So, all right, another good event.
Like, I'm him. And so that happened. So then I sent that to him, and then we drove to the warehouse. Miles was working there, and then Miles was like, he was actually, this is no coincidence, but he was eating 2 cheeseburgers like he was in the warehouse again when we came there. So I don't know what's going on with him and the cheeseburgers, but he was eating 2 cheeseburgers. And then we came in there, we started loading everything up for the tents. We called Jerry in to come in to do some extra work. He came in for us. Kobe was alerted by Eddie by the text message. He was actually in Oklahoma. I don't know what he was doing in Oklahoma, but he was in Oklahoma. And then he drove straight back from Oklahoma, dropped his wife off, and came straight to the job site. But at the same time, we had because it was raining. And so we had the 20 by 30, which is our second largest tent too, was holding 200 something gallons of water. So we went there. So me and Ed split. So we started out, we were going to go, we're all going to go straight to the tent site. But what happened is that we ended up going to, I ended up splitting off, going all the way to Granbury and going out to the actual, the 20 by 30 and getting that situated. And it was so much water, and I had to get a bucket to do it. I used to do my little jumping thing. Mm-hmm. Didn't work this time. Didn't work. I mean, it worked at the end when it was like 200 gallons less. So we did that. And then from there, Eddie, Miles, and Jerry, and then Kobe met you, I think, like a 4 hours to 35 minutes after you got there, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just let me know what you saw.
We saw a 40 by 40 and 2 20 by 20s destroyed when we got there. Mother Nature obviously had different plans than letting these bad boys stay up. But it was just pure carnage. Me, Jerry, and Miles just jumped out of the truck and then immediately just started taking everything apart. Also, they had string lights on the tents, so we started just clipping everything apart. The customers, they're actually pretty cool.
Yeah. What did they say to you? Can you remember they said something about why the main tent wasn't taken away?
Oh, yeah. So this is a festival for their religion, and they were telling us that the main tent that did not get destroyed was there specifically because their deity or their god basically protected it. We just confirmed, we're like, you're probably right, because everything else got destroyed.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what happened.
What are a couple things that we could have personally did, if we, personally did to make this tent better, and how could someone else avoid this?
We told the customer not, because we saw the winds were going to be extremely high on that specific day. We told the customer not to put the sidewalls down. I guess we could kind of reinforce that a little bit better. Another
like
thing,
lock it in place or something.
Yeah, put a lock and make sure he doesn't touch it. But most customers, they don't really understand like the laws of physics, so the more service area you have to push on something, then the easier it is to move.
I think that was because when you got there, all the sides was down.
The sides were down. A couple other things we could have done is put more stakes down, double stake it. Since it's such a big tent. Yeah. And this actually happened at another site, but the only difference is I couldn't get the tent up. It was so windy and like dangerous. I told the customer like it's not going to happen. But in that specific area where we had these tents up, there was no wind blowing at the time of setup, so we didn't know how this wind was hitting, and it was hitting it directly in a very bad spot. That's basically what made it do this little flip, but thankfully their deity was protecting the main tent where their stage was at, so everything worked out just fine. They were very happy. I think the reaction of us just jumping into call to arms, everybody kind of jumping in and doing what they do. They really appreciated that.
So like, I know this one specifically, we didn't have this set up, but it's something that I know we're working on right now. I know our strategy for like how we're gonna keep the equipment protected. So one thing that we don't have, and don't be like us. So this one right here. So you need to be better than us. You need to have inland marine insurance, or marine inland, technically is what it's called, which is to protect your insurance inland or any type of equipment, tools, whatever you have, in case anything is damaged on land. So as long as you're not doing this on like the beach, in the water, or on a boat or something like that, Eddie's future boat that he's gonna have, or another boat, yes, technically. Yeah. But it'll protect you just that. I think a couple of issues that we could have just done too, and also too, if you're doing this, you're gonna have catastrophic stuff right here. Even that day of setup, we had a 10 by 10 pop-up tent that got mangled because we put sidewalls on there. It was almost like
it was like a pre-warning, like, hey guys, they're gonna like. Yeah. I think we already know customers are gonna do what they do, even if you warn them, or especially on a huge event like that. There's so many hands, in the pot. That's kind of hard to manage everybody, because one person, like I said, like there's so many different people. That was the person that was the main boss or whatever, kind of telling, okay, this is what's going on. So one thing that we know for sure is when we went to actually go do like the audio part of the event, everyone was kind of like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And so I'm pretty sure we told one person like, all right, do not drop the sidewalls. And then the other person's like, drop the sidewalls. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I think we just need to kind of probably have a more of a clear understanding across the board on everybody.
Yeah, I think one thing too. Next time we do a big event, we need to have like a acknowledgement contract. Mm-hmm. So someone needs to acknowledge that, hey, if you do this right here, you're gonna be responsible for anything that happens if this is done. And also too, I think one thing we need to set up, like that when we left, we should have did a walkthrough with a video and sent it to them and send this to everybody, and then what not to do across the board. And just, cause I seen someone do that with what do you call it, with a lawn care. Mm-hmm. And so that's what they kind of do on each video, kind of send them like, don't touch this is poison ivy, don't have your kids playing right here, all this stuff right here. We maybe could do one of those. And I think also too, we'll probably make a standard video eventually over wind safety and kind of the process. And we probably need to rewrite this better in our contract too. But we'll do that. It ended up working out. I was looking at some of the repairs that online, like some of the stuff he can do. One of the people I seen online said that you can take the whole tent to be like, it's not gonna be I forgot the exact cost of it, but it'll be a couple $1,000s, and then like the place that we go to,
Yeah.
and they can like seam it together and all this stuff right here, and then they can work it out. But it's something that takes time, and maybe if we go through that process, because we still got to get another tent. So if we go through that process, maybe we'll document it, share a little bit, see if that's even possible. Talk to somebody and just see so you guys can see and we go through the process. Because the holes are like, the holes are like, how big are they? Like 3 feet, 4 feet?
Yeah, I think like the biggest one, it's kind of ripped like an L.
That's some homework.
Yeah. It's like you took the L, so here, let me rip it into your tent, let you know that. But that one's pretty big. It's probably like 5 foot or so.
So we might just go through experiment just so we can learn a little more about the process. Don't know if it's actually going to work or not, but something that we can look into, and we'll document the process so you guys don't have to go through this. But on our next break that we're going to go through, which is very convenient, is we're going to talk about NextInsurance. If we would have had the proper NextInsurance, we could have had this covered a little better. I think we have one thing that could work on us to help us out, but NextInsurance has saved us so many times. I still remember, which we talk about, is when we had probably the most detrimental moment in our company is when our Frisco's warehouse flooded. And then that flooded over to 3 more places. And then one of the places it flooded to was a commercial plumber, which the commercial plumber was making bank. I'd give them that right there. But they went over there, and then they had these electric water heaters that and tankless, but these things were like, I think he told us $10,000. I'm pretty sure when I looked it up, it was more than that. I think he was a good guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah,
very fair.
Yeah, very fair. But like they paid over $100,000 for all that stuff. And so like for us, like at that point in time, that would have been like very detrimental. We'd have had to,
rethink everything.
Rethink the way we do it, sell equipment. We have to restart and look at something totally different. Because I was just hunting down for that one incident, not including the drying stuff. Because we paid $4,000 just on our unit, just getting the what do you call it, the
drywall kind of dried up and stuff like that.
Yeah, a restoration company did that for us. So we went to what was that first company we went to first? ServPro. They're trying to serve you.
Oh, they sure do. They're like, how much? Oh yeah, everything needs to be replaced.
They say everything. What was it, like $30,000?
It wasn't crazy.
But just make sure you look at NextInsurance, look at other stuff on that thing. We'll have a links down in the description. They have helped us tremendously out, something that we personally use, and that saved us tons of money on that one. We kind of chipped out on this one, so we didn't have it, but going forward, we won't be get called twice. So that's how it works, Phil. You learn from our failures. There's something else that I was thinking about, and it's something that a couple people brought up when I told them about the circumstances. Like, we even though we don't have one written out, like we need to have we have like an emergency plan when things go wrong. Like everybody, and I think the true ones kind of fold back into it and go straight into emergency mode and understand like they can't have the event without this. So we need to be able to supply all this stuff and get it back up. Yeah. And I seen that we took like emergency actions like on there. So like if say we were to create a plan, which we probably will, like what would be the steps for like to be emerged? Like if this happened to someone and they just found out, what's the next step they should do?
Well, I think the best thing to do is evaluate the situation. What was done, and how can you rectify the whole issue? If you don't have the means to do it, then you just have to deal with that another time. But if you have something that you can do immediately, it's kind of like what we did. We just said, hey, everybody, obviously we're looking at profits and stuff like that, but when we're dealing with I think the bill was like $20,000, something like that, dollars for this event. And on top of that, like all the customers, like, oh, we're gonna be doing this every year, multiple times. So hearing that, we wanna just project that we did everything that we could, and that's what we did. We just called the boys and said, hey, come on. Let's get these hours and let's go help out the customer. And it turned out very beautiful. Like Xavier said, he was very happy. He even hugged me at the end.
Yeah,
and
all 3 of them.
Yeah, they like hugged me and they're like, no, I'm not going to call Kelly Rentals. I'm going to call Eddie. I was like, me? He's like, yes, you. And then Xavier's over here looking at me
I was like, not this again.
Oh, there we go. There you go again. They're just going to call you. Why are they calling you? But anyways, he's very happy. The main thing you want to do is just have a game plan. If something that does happen, if you have backup, it's always good. But if you're a loan shark, then unfortunately, we've done it plenty of times. We stayed out till 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then back at it at 6 o'clock in the morning. We've done some crazy stuff like that before.
Yeah. And I think also too, we had 2 disasters going on at the same time. So we had one. We were pending 20 by 31. It's going to be a collapse right there, which we couldn't have. We couldn't have 3 tents just blow up out of nowhere. that just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So but also too, we ended up having a tent that we took out of circulation because it's a different style. It's the same style of tent, but it's a different company. Yeah. Which kind of helps us out in the long run if we got to do something like immediately and we put something together. So it's kind of like a backup tent. But it worked out. The thing I seen on the 20 by 30 was that one of our guys forgot the cables and they rigged something to make it work. And then it wasn't enough tension on the actual tent top to keep the water from going out. Yeah. So what I did is basically apply more tension, which if you can imagine, it was a lot of work to get enough tension to be able to, enough as the cables. So I had to shorten the cable first, pull it on there, and then hold it tight. And then there was a guy there, really nice gentleman, smart guy. Yeah. He was holding on. So he's in his wheelchair because he lost his limb. He's in a wheelchair. So he's holding on to the thing and like driving away with the wheelchair. And like so like pulling.
Is it an electronic wheelchair or the one with the hand? Oh, okay.
And then he's like, so he's pulling the strap down so I can get more force, so I can crank it. So we can get enough tension, and that ended up working, and we ended up getting enough tension. But it was crazy. I wish I would have recorded that moment.
Yeah, when there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah. And then while I'm doing this, they're over there with it looked like a demolition site. Yeah. From the tents and stuff. Yeah. But realistically, like this is a learning lesson. I'm not gonna lie. Before, when this happens, I always think like, oh my gosh, it's always something. Like that thing started to creep in my head. Yeah. That guy.
Yeah. And, to be honest with you, like, I don't really, I think this is a good thing it happened, and then at the same time, bad thing, because, like, it exposes holes that you have in your operation. Not that we have a lot of holes or anything like that. Like, both of our customers that we went to fix the problem, I bet they're going to do business with us in the future. I mean, just like you said, the main thing like on this really shows is just like we care, and for the most part that they see that we're making an effort to fix the problem. Now, if it's something that you purposely did, then now they're going to be upset. But people understand that you can't control the weather, and tornado runs through there and destroys the tent, and it's nothing that we did personally. Even the water situation, with the tension. From the description, what you told me, the lady was just happy that you showed up and helped out because I think her husband was disabled and whatnot. So stuff like that, we're gonna have everlasting customers with those two. I'm pretty sure. But just do the best that you can, because the main thing is you can't control. Well, sometimes you can control situations if you pre-plan or do certain measures to prevent it. But when they do happen, one thing you can control is the actions that you take. If you don't do anything, then that's on you. You're gonna look bad upon the customer.
Yeah. So we'll be regrouping, get some new tents and stuff like that. And we'll be back at it. But let's go into the rental rundown.
Rental rundown. What is a damage waiver?
Okay, so a damage waiver is a fee that the customer pays to basically offset the cost of damages they may occur on each rental that they do. Because no matter what, each customer is putting some type of damage or wear and tear to the actual rental items. So that's all of this right there. So some people who do this, we think you should do this. Some people don't do this. They just put it into the actual cost of the actual item. You can work it both ways. It just to stop them from doing any scratch and dent, so they don't have to get dinged every single time. So a little bit, and it should be used to be able to replace your items or get new items. Yeah, it kind of works out for there.
Okay. Second one, it says, should I charge a damage waiver fee to my customer, and how much?
Yeah. So typically, this in our industry in the United States, you're between 5 to 15%. We are sitting around like 12.5%. That's just the area that we found to be best on there, because that basically gets us, I think it's like 8 or so rentals, and they get the cost of the item back, so the wear and tear. So it works out for us. It just depends on your market. Like if you're in a bigger major city, you'll be closer to the higher end. If you're out in backwoods of nowhere on the wrong turn, then you're going to be closer to 5 on there. But we do think you should do some of them. Some people make this optional. and it could be something that's that you can get back or something like that. If there's no damage, we don't personally do that, and most of the bigger providers don't offer that either because it's just too complicated, and then you never really know on there. And sometimes the damage is done that you can't see.
So basically, in conclusion, stuff happens in this industry, and the main thing is you want to have a game plan when things do happen. Or you have insurance. They're always good too. That's a good investment. So just do the right thing and just help out the customer, and you'll have customers lining up to do business with you.
Yeah. So nice one, eh? We're on this. It was a little rough for a couple of days, but we got it done, and we'll be better than ever. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the links down in the description. It helps support the channels, help us provide more free content, and also keep updating as we keep updating the Ultimate Checklist. Make sure you check out the Ultimate Checklist as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned to the content. Like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. I'm Xavier Kelly.
I'm Eddie Sauceda.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you.